Okay, so here we go. We're going to start our last episode, episode 9. This one we finish up with the finish and we finish the guitar. So stay tuned, watch it through. Let me see, there's a lot of talking at the end. So I'll go over the actual guitar, everything that I did, where I had some gotchas, and just explain. And then there's a demo at the end. So stay tuned, play it through, listen to the stuff and see how it sounds. And sorry about the demo. I went on and on. Like, I couldn't stop playing the thing. It really plays really well, and it sounds great. So here we go. Okay, so here she is, Area 51. So you can see we went for a burst, so like a green burst into a yellow. I just thought it kind of represented like an alien kind of look to me. That whole green and purple theme kind of goes throughout anyways, so this kind of flowed. I think it flows perfectly with everything that goes on here. I tried to do at first pretty much like no color to the top, just making it natural, and then it just was drowned out. It was too natural in the back, and in the front it was just too much. So this worked, and I like it. I hope you guys like it, because I'm really, really liking this. Okay, so we have our green knobs kind of match. Go with I switched them off to the lighter color ones just because they match the pickups a little more. The Floyd Rose is a black chrome, almost like a nickel, as you would say. I also have the toggle that's like a black chrome nickel, same idea. Went for the Purple Heart pickup rings. I think they kind of accentuate and they look pretty good because it kind of matches the fretboard all the way down. I wasn't sure using the epoxy might be a little too much. I like the Purple Heart for the actual back covers and the pickup rings. I think it just works. The fretboard, everything just came in. So here's an interesting thing. When I set this up, and this is the first time setting up a new guitar build, that I strung the thing up, brought it over here. This is my offices, and I have my amps and stuff like that. Just using the Kemper right now. But I strung it up, and it just literally tuned up nicely, and the intonation was spot on every string. I didn't have to adjust it at all. I thought that was almost incredible. It tuned up perfect, and the intonation was great. The action is super, super good. Now, I'll talk about it after, but I wouldn't change a thing right now. I mean, I've been playing this for 2 days now, and I can't stop. It plays really well. The neck feels great. It's well constructed. I'm not saying that because I did it. I'm just saying it feels like a well constructed guitar, no doubt. Okay, and you know that going if you went and played like a high end guitar at a store compared to a $500-600 guitar, even $1,000 guitar, because this plays even better than that. Let's see, I went for hip shot tuners. I don't know if you can see. I'm trying to do a little tilt here. They're locking tuners. And they're also black. So where I couldn't get the black or the nickel, I went for regular black because it kind of goes with the whole flow of everything. Now, let's see. No fret buzz, like I said, at all. These are 10s. I have this guitar set up for 10s. I typically play 9s, but I was like, I had a couple of packs of 10s. I'm going to go with 10s and try that out. So the thing with the Floyd Rose, it is sitting flat right now. It is straight. Okay, and that's exactly what you want. You want it just to be sitting and floating flat. Now, if I switch these from a 10, it's set up for 10s. If I want to switch to a 9, as soon as I switch to a 9, that Floyd Rose is going to automatically go in. The tension from the springs in the back are going to be more than what the tension on a set of 9s is going to give. And the same thing if I went for 11s, 10 to 1, this is going to kick up because the tension of the 11s is different than the 10s. So you do have to keep that in mind, and you have to adjust as you go along. But I don't really care. I'm used to this. It's not a big deal. Now the back, let's take a look. I had talked about this, well, probably some of the comments, but either way, I went for, it's a natural wood finish, but what it is I just did black stain and then sanded it back, and it just accentuates all of the grain. I've seen this done. I actually did it on, I have another guitar right here that I did the black grain and then did purple over it. Works out really well. But I love the natural look with the accentuated black grain. Seen it done many times, and the contrast is really, really nice. And not only that, it's different from what you're seeing here is different than what you're seeing on the top. So you definitely get a different look for the back and the sides on this. I like it. So the pickup covers the back plates went for the Purple Heart. I was going to use magnets. I actually bought the magnets. I have those. Done it before. I didn't make the wood thick enough. It didn't really give me enough there for really drilling out for the thickness of the magnets and stuff. And it's like, no big deal. Just threw some screws in, done, call it a day. I typically put a logo up here. The coloring of the Wenge, the wood, trying to do one of the slide off clear laminate logos, it just wouldn't show up right no matter what color I was using. So I did add some logos and different things here and there, just to accentuate. Like this says Area 51, has the alien there. This is actually shows Area 51, but I like to put my serial number and the name of the guitar somewhere. It's usually above the neck, and I do like right above the lute, which I have right here. It says Area 51, gives a serial number, and the model name. Even though this is Area 51, the model name is Iggy, which I try to name each of my models, like the shape of the guitar based on what I built. I will make a model, and then I can recreate those over and over. The model is Iggy, named after my son. I try to name it after my kids. My son's middle name is Ignatius. So there you go. Now, things I would change, or things I ran into. Again, this was probably the easiest setup I did on building a guitar. Literally just tweaking in the Floyd Rose for the first time and doing the screws for the springs in the back. Once I got that down, no problem. It just came in. Okay. But what I would change, or things that I did run into, is number one, the nut. Even though the action is it's actually pretty nice and plays well, it could actually come down. The nut could actually come down more. Okay, I could probably, maybe a 10th, 20th of a millimeter. I mean, that's how small, just to bring down that nut, to bring the action down from up there. Now, well, I'm not going to do that right now. I absolutely won't. It's not in my nature, because the action is actually pretty dang good the way it is. It's a little high. It's not too bad. But it plays, and I have a nice new set of strings on it. So when I'm ready to take these strings off and throw in some new ones, because it's getting a little old, then that's when I'll go back. And again, I'm the one playing this anyways. I'll go back and I'll take that down a little and bring down that. The other thing is the hip shot tuners. The tuners actually come with a template for the holes, the keyholes. And I use that template to mark out where the hip shot tuners go. Now, that being said, between the D and the G string, one of them, it's over too far, and it's rubbing up against the other, and it's actually at a little bit of a tilt. Not much. Is it anything I care about? No, I'm the one playing this. I could care less. Will I fix it? Probably not. I know what I could do. The simple thing I can do is if I took off that hip shot tuner right there, the only place it's rubbing is where the screw holds it down. I would just follow that back. I mean, these are mine. I'm going to be using it. I would follow that back, and it would sit perfectly, and I could straighten it right out. But I really just don't care. I could care less. Let's see. The back plate for covering the tremola, the Floyd Rose. The Floyd Rose, the block actually sits higher than I expected. I took measurements, but I think over the time of building up the guitar body, I might have taken it down a little too far. But either way, the way it's sitting, this cover could barely get on. In fact, it was hitting the block when I was putting the cover on. So what I did is I actually took out a portion of the back cover, because the back cover is probably about 3 to 4 millimeters thick. I took out a portion of the back cover so that the block wouldn't hit it, and I was able to put it down. Now, I mean, this block is huge. I could easily go in and grind that down later on. Again, when I'm changing my strings, if I really feel like it, and it's bothering me, but I'm telling you, none of this is bothering me. I'm just telling you about little gotchas. I could actually grind down a little portion of that block, say maybe half a millimeter or a millimeter at most, and it wouldn't even touch that. Or it wouldn't. I've already carved out the spot, so it doesn't even matter at this point. Let me see. We have DiMarzio pickups. So this is the Air Norton, and this one, I don't know, the Super Distort. They're two separate pickups. They're not like a pair. In other words, I don't have two Air Nortons, one for a bridge, one for a neck, whatever. I actually got these when I bought an Ibanez 770. The guy had replaced the original blue pickups that went with it with these two. And I was like, man, it just doesn't go. But he gave me the original pickups, so I took them out. And I put the blue ones back. But I've had these a couple of years now. So I was like, all right, well, I know I'm going to use it on one of my projects. I'll use these. But, I had to look up exactly what he even bought. So that's what it was. I had them lying around. I was like, this is perfect. I can use it. The Floyd's just right, working good. And that's where it is. I'll show a picture, but I did use the Luma inlays for the side dots, and those little suckers light right up. As soon as you're in a dark room, man, they're glowing. Pretty cool. I got those for one of my last builds. I've had these for over a year. And I don't know if you're watching the video, I was literally down to the count trying to get I only did one dot for the 24th fret because, man, I didn't have enough to do two dots. I had like this much of that Luma inlay to do the entire portion of them, and they're just trying to cut it just right so I could get it. But it all worked. At the end, I'm happy with this. I love it. It plays so good, and this is the type of guitar I like. So now it's on to the next one, whatever that might be. I'm going to do a quick demo with this using the Kemper right into the audio box. I'm pointing to my computer, my audio interface, and into the computer, so it works out really well. And there we go. And I'll be getting back to you guys with what's next.